Welcome everybody to the Dr. Jane Live on a Thursday. Thank you for waiting. This evening we are going to launch into 2006. We're stepping into what I believe is the beginning of a new era in health. 2006 is not about symptom management. It's about structured prevention, biological intelligence, and precision realignment. So welcome to the Dr. Jane Mackenzie High-Low 365 Healthy by Choice signature range. We're going to have a look and see how aligned this company is, how aligned I am with the global trends that are being presented to us today. And in amongst all of that, we've been celebrating the February celebrations, which was Valentine's, it was the Chinese New Year, the Yang Heart Horse, the solar eclipse, which was a total reset, giving up the old and moving into the new. And along with that, I've been running that 4-week self-love, get back into shape course. So that's still on special, a nice special for February. And I've got a lovely special also lined up store-wide. I think some of you already know that would be all the 365 signature range nutrients. So the world is speaking about longevity, peptide, stem cells, brain optimization. And what we're looking at here is structured prevention. Tonight, I'm going to show you how these trends integrate into a structured, ethical, plant-based root cause system through the High-Low way. And we all know the High-Low way, holistic, integrated, epigenetic life orientation. And that is the culmination of my doctorate. So very proudly, I'm able to present that to the world, which is, in a sense, a lot of my work over the last 20 years, putting this together. So let's look at some global trends. We're presenting and witnessing unprecedented rises in chronic inflammation, metabolic dysfunction, autoimmune disorders, cognitive decline, and burnout and emotional fatigue. People are tired of reactive medicine. They want prevention, they want structure, they want clarity. And 2006, the health revolution is about replacing reaction with intelligent prevention. So let's just pull in the slides so you can keep up to where I am. Like I said, the future is precision prevention well-being. And that's what I'm presenting to you today. Here are the global health trends, the global health landscape changing. And I'm sure you know a lot of them. And I've got specific products in the range which meet the alignment of 2020. So what a pleasure. I'm able to present all of this to you today. And I think it just shows the alignment of myself and the alignment of my 365 range in particular. So if we have a look, going to the next slide, we're looking at longevity is no longer anti-aging, it's biological preservation. So looking at trending, some people in the old paradigm even still talking about anti-aging. It's about longevity, living a longer life, a more quality-filled life, not dying sooner than we should have died. And not looking for the latest anti-aging quick fix, this wrinkle cream, this food that's going to be anti-aging. I think that's a quick fix looks at thing, because longevity it's work. You need to work at it. You need to be focused on it and preserve the biological functioning of the body. That's the most important, because that's what's going to sustain us going forward. And I'm sure you agree. Let me just say something else here as well. The oxidative balance is critical, because we need to get really charged electrons The voltage, the battery of the body needs to be very, very well charged, 100% if possible. And then we need oxygen to reach the inside of the cell. And when the oxygen molecule and the electrons join, we get an energy. And you need proteins for that: ATP, GTP, CTP, and TTP. So we cover all four of them. Don't forget cellular minerals insufficiency. We have to have the minerals in the cells. We need to have, in fact, plasma water inside the cell and outside the cell. Minerals will do that. We need enough of that. And I've put, for example, here, the almost gold. That's going to give you cellular mineral sufficiency: gold, silver, copper, nickel, palladium, osmium, ruthenium, cobalt, all the platinum precious metal minerals inside the cell. Another product being shilajit minerals, sea moss. You're going to get 85 minerals with the shilajit, 92 minerals with the sea moss. Wow. Once we've got cellular minerals insufficiency, oxygen in the cell, the mitochondria building integrity. You see I've got my red light here, because red light is going to, well, apart from build collagen, it's going to bring in mitochondrial activity. It stimulates it. And it's also stimulated by the oxidative balance. Once the detoxification pathways are cleaning and the whole body has oxygen in it, it's circulating, we've got quite a nice mixture here. So these are the products that are put in. Flaxseed oil, critical after the minerals. RNA, DNA, the proteins. Now I'm going to share something with you here you might not know. There is a slide on peptides as well. But replica RNA, DNA is bacterial cell wall fragments. It's vegan, in other words, and it's produced by bacteria in the exact genetic code of the human. The fragments represent the genetic code: uracil, adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. And these are the building block proteins for the entire body. These peptides will assemble in whatever alignment the body needs according to the amino acid protein requirements. So they are able to not only reset the genetic code, replace wrong mRNA, encourage cell growth, hormones, enzymes, neurotransmitters, replacing any need for any protein shake, protein substitute, protein anything, because you're getting all 5 of the major proteins in here. This is science. It's proven. There are scientific papers about this. So this is a great, great, great product. And it works with the electrical potential that is created with the flaxseed oil and the mineral balance inside the cell as well. This is how we start building longevity, long-term biological preservation. And these RNA, DNA peptides are also present in my stem cells, the Activa stem cells, because I've got royal jelly in there, blue-green algae, cordyceps, lion's mane, and phote. So they have already conjugated in these high-level supernutrients, which I talk about all the time. So the Activa stem cells are ready to produce stem cells. They already have the protein peptides. Wow. So here we've got a double up. Also in my brain fuel and my stress defense shield, we've got, again, building block proteins, peptides, because inside there we've got all 3 algae, blue-green algae, chlorella spirulina. We've got 6 medicinal mushrooms: cordyceps, lion's mane, chaga, reishi, maitake, shiitake. And we've got royal jelly. And then we've got phote, the adaptogen, which its name in China is blackbeard, because it restores color, so it's regenerating. So here we've got ready-made peptides, natural, food state, plant-based, quantum structured. And then in the individual products in the range, algae mix, bee mix, and mushroom mix. And these formulations I did as my signature range many, many, many years ago. So we're charging the body with minerals, flaxseed oil for electrical potential, and the peptides. So we've got 3 main areas already set up. That is working towards biological preservation, longevity. Remember also, I talk a lot about the detoxification pathway. So in the bottom of the slide there, you've got the cell oxygen and you've got the DMSO. Those are crucial for detoxification. And then moving to, the next slide, let's have a look and see. Here we've got the peptides themselves, the language of cellular communication. And I've got really, really good signature products here because in addition to the replica RNA, DNA, which I've talked about, which are the 5 major proteins, peptides, and the stem cells, I've got a wonderful Integra collagen. This is plant-based vegan, in other words. And I've structured it with 19 ingredients that are collagen builders. Natural, plant-based, food state, quantum structured. And the beautiful thing about this, the Integra collagen, is it also works on connective tissue. So many people, I'm picking it up on my the Quantum NQB, are lacking connective tissue. And that's crucial because holds the whole structure of the body together. So that's a major product. I take it every day because it's got 19 superfoods and herbs in it. In addition to the either brain fuel or the stress defense shield, in addition to Macoon, and in addition to Shilajit, in addition to Almost Gold, in addition to the microbiome reset, in addition to the RNA, DNA. So I'm constantly, recycling and bringing in different orientations of the Almost Gold, the flaxseed oil, the other minerals, and the proteins. And then I'm getting tissue repair. Once you start that happening and ATP being produced inside the cell, you've got a winner. And just remember also that the peptides are crucial for neurotransmitter peptides, serotonin, dopamine, GABA, PEA, and so on. And also for the male and the female hormones. I'll talk about that in a moment. But most importantly for the neurotransmitters. So they're all made from protein is what I wanted to say. Enzymes are made from proteins as well. Our immunity is made from protein, structured from protein. So imagine that. We're walking around here with absolute powerhouses of nutrients. And the thing is, longevity is not cosmetic, as I said earlier. You don't find it in a bottle as such. It's work in progress. It's working at the cellular level, at the nuclear level, if you like. And we can't have deficiencies in any of these things I've talked about. And within the 365 range, I'm supporting all of this. So longevity begins and ends at the cell. If you don't have flaxseed oil, the chances of nutrients, oxygen entering the cell are low. So that's why people have most likely, in a synthetic way, made nano-coated and chelated nutrients, because they know it's not getting into the person's cell. Rather than fixing the problem, the cell millivolts, the voltage of the cell membrane needs to be 95. And then nutrients and oxygen are absorbed and waste is released. Everything is about electromagnetism, science, physics, grounded things. It's all science. And one must be aware of the synthetic peptides because they've been made and how the market's gone reductive instead of inclusive. They have gone and now made structured synthetically peptides for the thyroid, peptides for the pancreas, peptides for circulation. That's not how the body works. We are an integrated, holistic being. And we need to work like that because the body will pick and choose what it needs when it needs it. So, from my philosophy, I'm coming from food state, nature made, with the intelligence of the plant intact and the DNA and the plant intact. Otherwise, we're wasting our time. The body's got to restructure a whole lot of things, and who knows how, if it's going to go haywire inside the body. I'm not prepared to do that to myself or anyone else. So we work with the body's innate peptide intelligence, with the plant-based nucleopeptides, structured amino acids, in alignment with the body's needs. We're never overriding biology. We're supporting it. Now we're going to move to some stem cells. And this is one of the fastest growing health trends. And it's based on cellular signaling pathways. So over and above the redox reaction with the cell oxygen, the DMSO, and so on, we're bringing in the proteins that work with this, enabling the restructuring. And this is where, as I said, cellular signaling. Inflammatory modulation, absolutely critical. Most people are walking around with inflammatory conditions. They eat also in an inflammatory way. I like the blood group because it's based on a non-inflammatory way of eating. And it suits the body. It suits the blood type of the person. I've seen it. I've seen the blood on the microscope as well. So we're also looking at stem cell optimization from a regenerative environment and an epigenetic influence. And this is critical because epigenetics means beyond genetics, which means our hereditary genes, the genes that passed, the molecules of emotion that passed at birth, during gestation, at conception, whatever passed into us from our hereditary generational beginning point. So epigenetics is critical because we can inherit already weak genes, low stem cells. And we need to be very aware of this. And people who are wanting to have children should really, really top up, should detox first of all, and then top up on the proteins, flaxseed oil, minerals, and allow a certain period of time for detoxification, resetting. You give the child that better option in life, not to better chance of being weak, shall I say, fully functioning from the word go. So this is really leading now towards emotional stability, and I'll get there in a moment. My high-low system, my holistic integrated epigenetic life orientation system supports the terrain, not just the stem cell. So moving now to cognitive precision. Precision is measurement. And I will always benchmark. I always want to know where I'm starting. What you measure, you get. And you can manage. So I will always want to know what these levels are, what the benchmark levels are, the neurotransmitters, the hormones, circulation around the whole body, including the brain, stress modulation, and the mitochondria brain support. So I'm going to use my nutrients for that. And I've just mentioned some of them. Mucuna purines is a great one because that one is specific for neurotransmitter balance. The hormone balance, I've got a male and a female. And listen to this. It doesn't only do the sexual hormones. It does all the hormones. In other words, the pancreas, the thyroid, the adrenals, the liver, and the brain, and the androgenic sexual hormones. I pulled this together long ago. It's an amazing, fundamentally amazing combination of my signature range. So if you're wanting to get yourself aligned, you've been in a lot of stress, your dopamine's low, get the mucuna, get the female or the male hormone balance. Moderate your stress. I'm going to be talking about the holistic ancestral orientation. What is behind that stress? What's the motivator? How come you grew so tall? How come you overachieved? Did you want to be noticed? Were you not noticed? Was your mom or your dad not noticed? Was your granny or your grandpa not noticed as a child, as a person? So what did you do to overcompensate, to fill up and to set up a mental construct? I'll talk about that. And anyway, all these stresses cause, strain on the body and the ability to form energy. The energy is life force. So these mitochondria are crucial. They need to work for us. And remember that they're actually a bacteria, a eukaryote themselves. So for brain optimization, we need this aligned support. And to really take cognizance of what we're experiencing on a daily basis. And I call it mirrors. Who's putting mirrors up to teach me? And I entered the day like that because it's opportunities to heal. So, here's one. Here one comes. And then I go into reset. And I reset myself, and I will clear on it. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And I will then make those changes, the realization, and then the gratitude to that person who showed me the mirror. So we don't want the brain inflamed. We don't want it overstimulated nor undernourished, nor the rest of the body for that matter. So the raw cacao is neurosupportive. It's an adaptogen. It's got untold number of minerals, the most antioxidants of all the plants on the planet. And therefore, it's leading towards, from a quantum state, emotional processing, because nutrients that are on the quantum state will deal with body, mind, emotion, and spirit. So people's memory starts coming back, the anxiety starts disappearing, the understanding of their relationships, their sadness, their grief, their depression, their resentment, their anger, their fears start becoming clear, because the brain clears, they start thinking clearly and living productively. So that's huge. And realizing then now, moving towards stress. Emotional stress is biological stress. What do I mean by that? Your body represents the emotions that are out of alignment in different areas for different people in different parts. So one person might have weight gain, one person might have weight loss, one person might have not grown big enough, one person might be giant size. It might be heart, liver, gut, kidneys, skin, spleen. It might be the organs that go out, circulation issues, blood sugar, heart again. It can be developing things like blood sugar intolerances, and particular what stress does, it disrupts. The cortisol will disrupt the body, the adrenal hormones will disrupt the body as well, and causes all sorts of things to go wrong. I did mention this earlier. So hormones will be out if we don't have enough proteins, the stress imbalance is there, and the body's not clean enough for that signaling. We talked about signaling in the beginning. So the body wants certain hormones. The gut, the digestion wants hormones, the thyroid, the pancreas, the ovaries, the testes, etc. And if you don't have a clear liver, clear blood, and a clear brain, too much calcification, toxins, pollutants, that signaling doesn't reach the brain and the hormones are not released. So stress is major. The toxicity level of the body, the resistance to flow is major. And again, the protein level to produce the hormones. We sew that all up together, and not forgetting epigenetic imprinting. That's in honor and care of our generations before us, and it's our honor to heal that and release that. Or you can take it into the grave like they did. That's not for me. And we're going to move now also to the my actual healing compass, if you like. And it's totally built on physical purification, emotional purification. Emotional purification, unresolved emotional changes that are represented in the biology. It's an iterative process, so it enables us to keep shifting through. As I said earlier, when I wake up in the morning, I'm ready. What opportunities are coming my way? And once you are like the eagle soaring above it all, you're ready. And you can then get back into your central point and operate from there, and not take things personally, and not enter the conflict and enter the emotional game, not get sucked in, keeping in your calm stillness, keeping your breath even. So important. So the holistic ancestral orientation program that I have is especially developed for these inherited generational repeated patterns. holistic ancestral orientation. And I've used the word dissolving there, but it basically clears them. And you do the self-transformation yourself in pure normal awakeness in my center. And you've shifted. You feel the peace. Your body's not aching anymore. So that's your own validation, your own verification, and only you've shifted. And it's not a case of, I went there and I hope that it worked. You know it's worked because you feel it. And I can see it. So if we don't address the emotion, we can't fully heal the body. And I think that's really the message, leading into this high-low process. And I'm really thrilled to be able to have, fused the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual cleansing to enable people to self-transform through the high-low framework, raise awareness, deepen into consciousness, and get closer and closer and closer through self-discovery to their 0 point, to their divinity. So within the high-low is where everything integrates. It's structured, precision-based. We begin with an assessment using the NQB quantum device or the Q450 benchmarking. We do live blood analysis. We'll identify risks, causes, restore nutrients, rejuvenate and detox. We're using oxygen for that. I also use the Almost Gold and many other products just in different dosages, because the higher the dose of a medicinal mushroom, for example, it will work on detoxification. The lower the dose, it will work on nutritional support. And then we move from the rejuvenation detox point to rejoicing. So it's reset, restore, rejuvenate, rejoice. And in summary, that's the iterative process that we go through. And join in the fun, because many of you listening today have been here, some not once, some many times. Personally, and I've lost count, but the amount of times I've been working with the high-low how processing, and the NQB, I've been working on the emotions and the physical for very, very, very long time. I must have done about easily 80 holistic ancestral orientations, where I'm clearing the generational imprint. And what a pleasure. You just become lighter and you see things differently, and you are able to maintain levels of happiness, peace, joy, freedom for longer periods. It's difficult to sustain it in a day because so many things are happening, but you're able to sustain it for longer. So the area of symptom treating is ending. I think we all know that. The people that are with me in the slipstream, ahead of me, it doesn't matter, alongside me, we know this. And the era of structured biological realignment is beginning. Precision measurement, prevention, and then working with integrity. Authenticity is absolutely crucial in today's world. We can't work in any other way. I don't think, because then you're going to be found out. Look what's happening globally. Things and people are being found out. So this, I believe, is the health revolution. I've been talking about a paradigm shift since about 2010. And we're still in that shift, because a shift will move as a bell-shaped curve. So we've been working at this probably since 2000, in particular, the new paradigm. And you just see the old paradigms falling off, dissolving, dismantling, crashing down. And so we on the upward curve of the bell-shaped curve, and we're waiting for other people to collectively move upwards and reach this place now, which is the 2026 health revolution, which is biology-based. It has to be epigenetic-based. There's nothing more to it. And then to work with authentic products, food-based, food state, plant-based, nutrient-dense, quantum-structured. And to move through an iterative process that I'm presenting in the high-low, to keep cleaning, I'm in permanent reset. I don't know about you. Yeah, so this is really amazing, and I'm doing lots of things to support the transition. Offering specials, offering that self-love course. Let's have a look. The self-love course, I've now brought it in on a special at 15%. I did run it over 4 weeks earlier this month. Now that's finished. The people that joined in, fantastic, well done. I hope you really loved it. It was a self-transformation course based on questions that I put together in a workbook. Those of you who didn't come in on the free course, I've made it 15% off already. You'll see it in this one here. I think it's the next one, is it? Here we go. And it's specifically designed for people who are feeling overloaded, depleted, experiencing brain fog, carrying emotional burdens, wanting structure in their life, wanting prevention, and wanting clarity. So it's 15% off, and I've got a link for you. The link is in the invitation to tonight's webinar. At the end of this, I will put it into the slide, into the chat. So very, very important to be focusing on, the longevity aspects and reducing uncertainty. I think that's the biggest fear. It's sometimes even a fear of the unknown. Sometimes you don't even know what it is. And we've been, as a humanity, measured time 2,500 years. There's been lots of uncertainty. It's not new to us. We've all been displaced. We've all had people get on boats and travel. We've all had our integrity displaced. So we're all in this, imagine. And we're just looking for my high-low structured system, precision-based, prevention-based, to achieve that level of well-being. Structure removes chaos. Chaos is good. We need chaos because chaos is a catalyst. Things converge to a turning point and then diverge into the new paradigm. And that's what happened around 2000, and probably just about before 2000. There was this convergence and now the divergence. We haven't actually reached the turning point yet, by the way, not as a collective. Some people personally have, but as a collective world, humanity, it's still coming. And when, I'm not sure. But you can see the convergence towards the turning point. This is quantum physics, by the way. And then there's the 0 point reset, the quantum collapse, and we move into the divergent new paradigm. Very exciting to be alive at this time. And in the new paradigm, we structure again. So it goes from structure to chaos back to restructure. So we've got a breakdown to build up, put it that way. And you see that with the old paradigms, they're all destructing, all falling down. And I think this year we're going to see a lot more movement even, and we have already. So if I just go back to this slide here, on top of the special, which is 15% off for the self-love course, there's the store-wide February Health Revolution 2026 special. 15% off the signature range and the self-love course as well. As I said, this ends 3rd of March. So you've got a couple of days left to get in here and take advantage of this 15% off. I've had many people stocking up because I'm not sure when this will come again. Black Friday is a little bit down the line. But take advantage of these things, avail yourself to the courses that I'm presenting and offering, because why not? You're going to gain. You're going to achieve a level of awareness, consciousness, self-development, divinity that you wouldn't normally. And if you're awake enough, you want to shift, you want to be in permanent reset. And I will help you, I will guide you, but you will do the work. We want to position ourselves well in 2006. We want to put our well-being first. It gets back to the whole theme of self-love. We've got to put ourselves first and experience love, happiness, joy, freedom, unconditional love before we can share it with others. And once you've got it, you know, and people recognize it, and it gives you opportunities to share and to encourage the collective to converge towards the turning point. We have a responsibility, people that are awake, to do this, because time is running out. It's moving as fast as anything. So book your high-low benchmark. You can book online at www.365healthybychoice.com. You go to center bookings and you can book your initial assessment and come through to the center either in person or virtual, because this is a global virtual center. We reach everybody through the devices we have. The products are sent worldwide, distributed worldwide, which is fantastic. Avail yourself to the self-love course. There will be more courses this year, but this one's on at the moment because we've got to get this right first. And remember, it's also a journey. Self-love is a journey. At the end of the day, you ask yourself, what did I do to display self-love? Where did I put myself first? Congratulate yourself. Where do I need to learn? What opportunity arose? Those things. And have access to my signature range because it's really, really developed with the future in mind. And get onto the webinars on a Thursday. If you haven't joined, join. It's the same link. So you go and link on there for next week and you join, so that you get a reminder every Thursday. And then usually on a Friday or a Saturday, I post the recording. So if you can't make it, at least register. I know you're there. And that brings us to a close for today. And just want to thank all of you for coming through and being part of our convergence to the turning point and our divergence into the new paradigm, whatever that might be. And it might be different for different people, and that's also okay. I was watching a recording, no names mentioned, about someone who was asked to define happiness. And they basically said it's an individual thing. And I'm just going to add to that. It's your own self-barometer of happiness, of self-love that counts, not anyone else's. And if you want to wear a mask and put a false level of happiness out there, always happy, always doing things, distracting yourself, that's your choice. It's up to your authenticity. I want to be really me. And that's what I work at. And it's not about many of the Western concepts, win-lose. It's about win-win. It's about inclusion as opposed to exclusion, which we grew up with. And it's about doing our work. More than that, I've planted seeds, take them, spread them, do what you need to do with them. Contact me, inform me, I'd love it. And I will see you next week. I will be doing, most likely, moving into March, a lot about the 2026 Global Health Revolution, because it's so vast, and integrating many concepts with you. So thanks for being with me as usual, and have a lovely week.